In 1975, 26-year-old Eugene Schulter was elected to the Chicago City Council. 32 years and 8 re-elections later, Schulter is now the second longest-serving alderman. Many of his constituents in the 47th Ward credit his continued success to his responsiveness.
That intersection there, he's aware of it, and what we could do to improve it. You know, he takes a kind of a block-by-block improvement.
Residents describe Schulter as a slow and steady leader in the community and a tempered politician.
He's not on the more cutting edge or progressive side, but on the other hand, in terms of getting the things that one needs, he's been pretty successful as far as that goes.
I think some of the strengths are communicating with the population. He sends out letters fairly frequently.
Schulter's reign over the Ravenswood area has been marked by a vast wave of economic development.
People that would move in and buy a home, buy a house for under $100,000, things that would go for, $500,000 now.
The streets and the neighborhood is more, I think, more safe. I have been in business for 11 years here in the area, and I feel like it's pretty and safest than that time I start.
Despite the obvious economic benefits, residents express mixed feelings about development in the neighborhood.
If you've got the property and it's going up, that's helping you. I mean, if you're a renter like I am, that's not so hot. And it's certainly, I think, making it very hard for someone to buy in the city unless they're really wealthy.
Well, there's been improvements in the ward. I mean, from when we first started 15 years ago. I mean, it's definitely got a nicer edge to the neighborhood. Yes, there has been development, nice to see improvements, but at what cost, again, is the question.
But there's still big stretches that aren't developed at all, like the area along Lawrence is still really hit and miss, and obviously the economy's taking its toll, but there's a lot of just sort of odd things. It doesn't seem to really have any sort of vision behind any sort of development on that. It seems rather haphazard.
Differences in opinions aside, many members of the community say Schulter is a willing and helpful collaborator.
These massage parlors that are really fronts for prostitution, and we've worked with the alderman, but I've brought in other people to close them up, and he's as licensing chair, he's worked with us to get their license taken. So, I think we work kind of a good relationship.
However, Schulter's impressive track record with the community is not without blemish. Imre Hedvegi, owner of a retail store on Western Avenue, led a vocal opposition to the alderman in 2007 when Schulter attempted to use eminent domain. 26-year-old Eugene. However, Schulter's impressive track record with the community is not without blemish.
I think Gene's, he's a good leader in the ward. I think that I have my differences with him. I think that previous to this, it was, very, hello, how are you doing kind of thing. But when they needed help from me in the community, I was there. But when you have the threat of losing your business and your home and your livelihood, it places you in a position where you sort of stand up and take a little more vocal stance against the alderman.
Still, the alderman's popularity in the community remains unprecedented. There is no end in sight for Schulter's reign over the Fighting 47th.